there was a parliamentary vote, basically still sticking to the results of the last election from last year. So the second largest party, Pheu Thai Party, has forwarded Paetongtarn Shinawatra as the PM candidate. She's won the vote, and she's the new prime minister, the youngest prime minister of Thailand, second female. The first female prime minister was her aunt, Yingluck Shinawatra, back in 2011, 2014. But the political environment, I just sense it is still a little bit unstable because we've seen a lot of turbulence in the last week. The dissolution of the Move Forward Party that won the elections, and then the removal of Srettha Thavisin preceding Paetongtarn. So I'm wondering, if Paetongtarn comes in as a new prime minister, how much stability, how much space she'll be given to actually try to run the country, given that the royalist establishment, the judges, the generals have intervened in the past.
I do want to pick up on some of those points a little later, but first, at 37, Paetongtarn Shinawatra is the youngest person to serve as Prime Minister in Thailand, and she's the second woman to do so, but she's also never actually served in government. How big a risk is this?
She has not served in government or even in family business very much like her aunt, but she has been surrounded by a lot of politicians from her father's clan and associates, and she's seen a lot of politics in her lifetime. When there was a coup in 2006, she was still a student here at my faculty at my university. She had to be, come with the bodyguards, and there was a lot of tension, a lot of, risk for her. So she's not alien to Thai politics without direct experience. So we can expect her father to have a direct but behind-the-scenes role in her premiership. I think she'll listen a lot to him. Like Yingluck, her aunt did as well. But, she also has to find a way to come into her own. She cannot be just a puppet if she wants to be successful and effective as Prime Minister.
She's described herself as a socially liberal capitalist, and many are hopeful that she will breathe new life into the Pheu Thai Party. What kind of leadership style do you see her bringing to this job?
Well, she's self-confident. I think she's well-spoken. She has, she presses the fresh well, seems to be comfortable in public on the stage. But beyond that, she has to find ways to have leadership skills. She comes in at 37 without the kind of team that her father has. So we will see what kind of a team she can come up with, what kind of policy directions she can summon. Also, we're seeing some the Thai economy is in the poor state. Growth is diminished, and she also has to deal with economic growth, innovation that she talks about. Socially, yes, liberal, but I think the decider will be the economy. People are feeling the bite. The Thai economy not growing, and we are being outcompeted by nearby neighbors. So overall, she has a persona of someone young, someone new, but she comes from an older party, not the new party that we're seeing with the Move Forward and now the People's Party that was dissolved last week.
Now, the Pheu Thai Party remains dominated by Thaksin Shinawatra. His daughter is now the fourth member of that family to serve in the top job. Is Thaksin likely to keep pulling the strings behind the scenes, or will he be more restrained given the fragile circumstances under which he returned to the country last year?
I think what we saw today with, Paetongtarn becoming Prime Minister clearly shows that Thaksin is the manager of this government formation and the coalition government with the multi-parties. He's the power broker, the founder, and certainly the puppet master of the Pheu Thai Party. Now, how he will divide that role with his daughter, we will see. But certainly now Thaksin is actually working with the people that overthrew him. The coalition parties are, the parties are pro-military, pro-coup. But now Thaksin and his party and his daughter now are on their side. So the new game in town is really about the opposition party, the Move Forward, that's now People's Party. They want to reform Thailand. They want to modernize, change, amend, and they want to kind of bring Thailand to the 21st century. Thailand's been held back. So, if Paetongtarn comes in and can move Thailand forward, all good, and maybe her party will do well in the next election. But I think what Thai people are looking for now is modernization, is competitiveness, moving to the 21st century, not stuck on the Thaksin, anti-Thaksin divide like before over the last 20 years.
Now, the threat of military coups always loom large in Thailand. It's how Thaksin Shinawatra and Yingluck Shinawatra were deposed. What are the chances of it happening all over again?
There's always that chance because, Thailand's had 13, 14 military coups over the last 90 years. And it's the ultimate last resort for the royalist establishment to reset, to press the reset button and start the game over again. And thereby, so many coups mean that we have a weak democracy in Thailand. Military coups suppress political parties, people's representatives. So it's always possible. But I think more recently, in recent years, we're seeing more kind of the judicial interventions, judicial dissolutions of biggest winning parties. And this is how the political directions have been set. So you can see in Thailand, for example, that, on the one hand, there are tanks and generals. On the other hand, there are laws and the judges. And these two sides, the judges and the generals, have been deciding Thai politics. And we've seen that all along over the last 20 years. And the question for Thai people is that, how long would this have to go on for before some people put a stop to it?
You mentioned before that Thailand is in a state of financial peril at the moment. Has the new Prime Minister revealed any plans to revive the country's stalled economy?
This is a big challenge for the new Prime Minister. Economy is in bad shape. I mean, we're seeing, I mentioned, signs of economic stagnation. The Pheu Thai's policy platform has not made much progress. 10,000 baht digital wallet to boost consumption hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, it might be invalidated. And then the land bridge, bilateral FTAs, soft power, none of these plans has gone very far. So Thailand's gone for cheap tourism, visa-free tourism. So tourist numbers are up, but the value is not up. The value is not up. It means that we're going for numbers, but not quality. In long term, that's not a good strategy. So she has this. I think this will be her premiership will pivot around, whether it succeeds or fails, how Paetongtarn does in the administration and how her party does in the next election will be on the economy. And if they don't get their act together, then they're going to face dire prospects at the next poll.
So, Professor, there are multiple parties that form this coalition government. How likely are they to get anything done?
Well, I mean, the coalition government had to be, of course, agreed, and a lot of negotiations and bargaining. And I think that Pheu Thai party, Thaksin, and I think his team had to make some concessions in order to gain the allegiance, the support of the coalition partners. So I would expect a lack of, not a very strong coordination across the ministries. And we might see some silos, we might see some autonomous ministries, and they might be more prone to graft and corruption. And this is going to undermine economic performance. So I think somehow, I don't know how she's going to do it, and Pheu Thai and Thaksin, but if they don't get the coalition going, government going on the economy, policy directions, and becomes divisive and prone to corruption, that will not stand in well in the next election for the Thaksin party.